from Peninsula TV Studios in San Carlos, SBC, the San Mateo Credit Union, Wells Fargo, and Oracle present this year's hottest game show, Bay Area Quiz Kids. And now, the best host on the West Coast, Brad Friedman.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to the second game in our Elite 8 match. The top 8 teams are playing for the championship. And if you have been a follower of Quiz Kids for the last 6 years, you'll know that twice before these two teams faced each other in our final match. I am here to tell you that's not going to happen this year. Only one of these teams can go forward to our Final Four and maybe get a trip to Europe courtesy of ACIS. Will it be the Crystal Springs Uplands Griffins? Or will it be the 4-time champs, the Menlo Atherton Bears? Enough with the history lesson. Let us play the collaboration round. Ladies and gentlemen, as you recall, you'll be playing as a team in this first round. 10-point questions. I'll ask your team a question, give you 10 seconds to collaborate. When your captain gives you the correct answer, you will get the points. If you give me the wrong answer, the other team gets to collaborate and will possibly steal those points away from you. We will go back and forth till the buzzer signals the end of the first round. Good luck to both teams. The stakes are high, and Crystal Springs, you get the first question. From the Greek word meaning administration, this term applied to an organizational unit used in the later Roman Empire. The Catholic Church inherited this structure during the 5th and 6th centuries as bishops assumed the role of the Roman prefectus, becoming the head of what sort of jurisdiction?
Diocese.
That is right, the diocese. Tough question. It can be obtained by coagulating milk with rennet or an acidic substance such as lemon juice or vinegar. What is this dairy product that was one of the 2 items on Miss Muffet's Tuffet?
Curds.
Curds.
That's right. They could have said whey. Next question. The British band, the Boo Radleys, took their name from a character in this novel. Demi Moore and Bruce Willis named their daughter Scout after this book's heroine. Gregory Peck played Atticus in the movie adaptation of what novel?
To Kill a Mockingbird.
That's right, for 10 points. Bears. The Treaty of the Pyrenees in 1659 is sometimes seen as an extension of this treaty signed 11 years earlier. What treaty officially recognized the existence of the United Provinces of the Netherlands, the Swiss Confederation, and ended the 30 Years' War?
Treaty of Westphalia.
That is right, the Peace of Westphalia. With the suffix ing, this names a precision sport like bocce, but played on ice with granite stones instead of plastic balls. What term in mathematics is a vector operator that shows a vector field's tendency to rotate around a point?
Curling.
That's right, curling. Aslan Maskhadov is the former separatist leader of what Russian republic in the southwestern part of the country that notoriously has always fought against Russian rule?
Chechnya.
Yes, Chechnya is right. Not 2 weeks after a cover article discussed the questionable success of the HP Compaq merger, Carly Fiorina was dismissed. What is this business periodical known for its 500 list?
Fortune.
That's right, for 10 points. Named for the French scientist who discovered it, what manifestation of inertia explains why a high-pressure system in the northern hemisphere rotates counterclockwise, while the same system would flow clockwise in the southern hemisphere?
Lavoisier.
No, I'm sorry. You can steal if you tell us the answer to that.
Coriolis.
That is right, the Coriolis effect. While on a trip to Busch Gardens, Virginia, a goose slammed into his face while he was on a roller coaster. First appearing on a romance novel cover in 1987 was what Italian model who can't believe it's not butter?
Fabio.
Yes, Fabio. I am constantly mistaken for Fabio. Evaluate the integral of the function cosine of x dx over the interval negative pi to pi.
So cosine becomes sine. Sine of negative pi.
Colin. Colin?
Sine X.
Nope. 0. 0. Brad made a mistake, and he apologizes to the team over here, and we will work that out. But thank you very much. We are done with that round. Let's look at the score. 30-60. I am very sorry, Griffins. We'll talk it over at the break. You stick around. Come right back. We'll see you in a minute. Thank you. It is always fun to be down here with us, as well as it is watching us on your screen. So if you'd like to come and see a show, call us at 650-637-1936. We'll send you tickets to a future match. Welcome back, Griffins. How are you doing? You're playing well, Spencer Peck. And last time we talked, you were about to open the big musical at Crystal Springs, Footloose, and I hear it opened a couple nights ago.
It did. We opened on Thursday, on Thursday, and we sold out last night, which was the first time in 16 years at least. So
It's a popular show.
Yeah.
And you're the stage manager, which is like the most important person once the show is open, as far as I'm concerned.
theoretically,
And do you have a lot of cues to recall? Is it a big light show, sets
yeah,
moving?
it is. We have 100 light cues and probably about 12 or 15 scene changes, as well as numerous sound effects. So
That keeps it interesting in the booth.
it does.
Well, I wish you a very good run, very successful one. Richard Zen,
You forgot the most important part, cowbell.
the cowbell.
Yeah, I play the cowbell.
That's right, you're in the pit playing the cowbell and all other kinds of dingy instruments.
Yeah.
But you know, even more dingy than that is that your wonderful older brother, Lee, who used to be on this team, is in the audience today.
Oh, yeah.
And do you want to say anything about how you're playing or the memories you have of Lee playing?
No, I'll just say one simple word. Lee!
I heard that a lot for a few years. Well, we're glad to see Lee, and of course, Richard's playing great for your team, so you should feel proud as an older brother. Taylor Hollybar,
Brad.
you guys are working on yearbook.
Yep.
This is something that happens every year, and there's always a deadline crunch. How's it going?
It's going all right. We've kind of, the first few deadlines were an absolute mess, but we're getting it under control, and we're almost done. Like 22nd is our final deadline, so we're in that final push.
Will you have a big spread about Footloose?
We will, in fact, have a very large spread.
Will there be mention of the cowbell?
I'll make sure that there is. Not
Yes.
brought it up.
Try and make mention of the cowbell. Good luck with that. Let's give a big hand to your coach, Wells Wadley. Colin, you are working as a tour guide in San Francisco, and you haven't ever been in San Francisco, have you?
Well, I have, but
Briefly.
briefly. Mostly, I give tours to foreign tourists, and they can't tell the difference. So.
So you could walk along the shore and show them any rock and say it's Alcatraz.
Yeah, sure.
That's so mean.
They're so gullible.
So who are you working for that you get to do this?
Oh, I don't work for anybody. I mean, I couldn't work for a bus company because you would not want me driving a bus.
So you just walk around the city and tell people I can show you around?
Yeah. Well, no, no. Like usually it's through people that I meet or that I know.
Does your mother know what you're doing on weekends, Colin?
She's here.
All right. She will. Rachel Barkley.
Hello, Brad.
We talked a long time ago about some of your hobbies. I won't call this a hobby because this could be something that you end up doing for life, but you talk about writing speculative fiction.
Yeah, it's basically like I get really, really bored because my mom doesn't know where I am on weekends. And so I sit inside and I write, stories about what the future could turn out to be.
Now, some people write it based on politics, like Philip Roth just did that with his story about Lindbergh as president, but you're interested in biotechnology.
Yeah, I don't know anything about politics, but biology is interesting for me. So just read up whatever Genentech's doing, think, what could this turn into?
What will the world be like if we splice this gene with that one?
Yeah, I was Most of it's very dystopic because I'm that kind of person.
Yeah, that's sad. Good luck with you, though. Maybe you'll end up with a brighter vision in the future. Julia Cho. Hi, Julia. Julia, we've come down to it. You want to talk about fruit.
Yeah, I mean, we could have talked about something intellectual that made me sound really smart, but whatever.
Okay, fruit.
Yeah.
I have no leading question. What would you like to say?
All right, well, before you were talking about how you can never find apples that were good.
I have a hard time finding a crunchy
Yeah.
apple. That's true.
That's definitely probably because you're shopping at the wrong place.
Okay.
Well, I probably can't say the names.
Probably can't.
Probably can't.
But you can say what apples you like.
Well, I really like Fuji apples. I think those are the only apples people should buy. And if you go to the Asian markets, they're really big, but if you go to just the normal grocery stores or like the whole food markets, they're really small.
Yeah, I like
They're really
Fujis
good.
because they're
Yeah.
crunchy, but they're very large usually. I want a small Fuji. Not like a Mount Fuji,
You're not
but
a
a
big
small
eater,
Fuji.
are you?
I'm a delicate
Small
eater.
eater.
I'm a
Yeah.
delicate eater, shoot. We'll talk more about fruit later. Let's give a big hand to your coach, Sue Caton. And there is no way to politely segue from that subject into this introduction, so let's just give a big hand for our judge, Frank Saboti. All right, go out to your kitchen and munch on an apple, listen to these messages, and return in a moment because we have some more play for you. Thank you for joining us. Let's play the lightning round. Hands on your buzzers. The questions are worth 10 points. The first person to buzz in after I ask a question gets to answer for your team. Give me the right answer, you score the points. Give me the wrong answer, the other team will be allowed to collaborate, possibly steal those points. Now, if you buzz in before I complete the question, you will have to answer with the information you have heard thus far, and if you do not give me the right answer, I will complete the question for the other team. It is 60-30. Good luck to both teams. March 10th, 2005 celebrated the 5-year anniversary of the rise to 5,048.62 of what? Julia.
The NASDAQ?
That's correct. The natural version of it was propounded in a 1614 book by John Napier, and it is actually, Colin.
A logarithm?
Yes. This 1867 agreement was approved by just one vote in the Senate. Equivalent to $86.7 million today was what agreement in which the United States purchased a large territory from Russia? Rachel.
The Alaska Purchase.
Yes, or Seward's Folly, that's right. She so enjoyed Tracy Morgan's impression of herself that she called Saturday Night Live and asked for a tape of it to be sent to her. Who read her poem On the Pulse of the Morning at President Clinton's 1993 inauguration? Taylor.
Maya Angelou?
Correct. Bartolomeo Diaz named it the Cape of Storms in 1488. Rachel.
Cape of Good Hope.
Correct. Marie de Medici's painter at the French court was what Flemish Baroque artist whose name can be used to describe women of large stature? Rachel.
Rousseau.
No.
Jan van Eyck.
We call these women Rubenesque after Peter Paul Rubens. For uranium-235, some products of this process are isotopes of iodine and xenon. What is this process whereby a nucleus... Spencer.
Radioactive decay.
No. Whereby a nucleus is split into two smaller nuclei plus some byproducts.
Fission?
Yes. Sharing its name with a city in the Bay Area, what Michigan College's basketball team won the Mid-Continent? Spencer.
Oakland.
Correct. Also called the vector product or the outer product, what is this binary operation that when applied to two vectors produces a third vector? Yes, Spencer.
Cross product.
Correct. He took the title of his novel Pale Fire from a passage in Shakespeare's Timon of Athens. Who is this Russian author who wrote 9 novels in English, including Lolita? Taylor.
Nabokov?
Yes. The seat of Alachua County. What city is home to the University of Florida? Colin.
Gainesville?
Correct. The first to hold this position was Benjamin Franklin under the Continental... Spencer.
Postmaster General.
You got it. The term comes from the lawyer appointed by the church used to argue against the canonization of a saint. Also a movie starring Al Pacino and Keanu Reeves. What term, Spencer?
Devil's Advocate.
You're right. It was much brighter and thus seen by more people than Halley's Comet. What was this astronomical object Spencer.
Supernova.
No. What was this astronomical object dubbed the Great Comet of 1997, named for its two discoverers?
Hale-Bopp.
Hale-Bopp. In Hellenic civilization, the object of this event was to hit a specific target rather than distance. Yes, Rachel.
The discus?
No. Jan Zelezny of the Czech Republic holds the world record for throwing what spear-like object?
Javelin.
Correct. Written by a couple of Dominican inquisitors, the Malleus Maleficarum was a text notorious for its use in the hunt of what supposed practitioners? Spencer.
Witches.
Right. It is always smaller than the average of a set of numbers unless the elements in that set are equal. What is this other mean calculated by Spencer?
Median.
No. What is this other mean calculated by taking the nth root of the product of n numbers?
Mode.
The geometric mean. What measure of chemical concentration is defined as the number of moles of a given substance per kilogram of solvent? Taylor.
Molality?
That is right. What Germanic tribe with Scandinavian origin handed the Romans a defeat at Adrianople? Yes, Rachel.
The Visigoths?
No? Yes. The Goths. Okay, the judge says accepted. Good. Paulistas are the name for the inhabitants of what Brazilian state that has a capital of the same name? Colin.
Sao Paulo.
That is right. That is the end of the round. Let's look at the score. Well, it's close. 120 for Menlo Atherton. Crystal Springs, 150. Two great teams facing each other once again. Let's see what happens after we return. We're back with the Griffins and the Bears. Let's play the Extreme Lightning Round. Play is the same, point values are doubled. Which of these teams will make it to the Final Four? Let's find out. An old word for sherry, the deconstruction and or looting of a city. And in the UK, the equivalent of getting fired. What is, Rachel?
Sack.
Yes. Hosted by LeVar Burton is what PBS? Colin.
Reading Rainbow.
Yes. Unlike an etching where indentations are left within a flat surface, what is this method of sculpting, meaning low raised work? Rachel.
Relief.
Yes. Where can you find Wilkes Land, Victoria Land? Colin.
Antarctica.
Yes, I'll accept that. Who has a pair of wolves, Jerry and Frecky, a pair of ravens, Hugin and Munin, Sleipnir, the eight-legged horse, and a magic... Richard.
Odin?
That's right. What Green Bay Packers quarterback announced he would...
Brett Favre.
Yes. Name for the inventor of the telephone is what unit often used in acoustics? Spencer.
Decibels.
Yes. Consisting of over 7,000 life-size figures was what collection? Yes, Richard.
Terracotta Warriors?
May I accept that? Yes. If a data set is distributed normally to the nearest whole percent, how much of the data is contained within one standard deviation? Spencer.
63.2%.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. How much of the data is contained within one standard deviation of mean?
67%.
68%. At first, he was just interested in saliva, but then became interested in what? Colin.
Pavlov.
Yes. This word describes a novel such as Dracula or Pamela, written as a series of letters, diary. Taylor.
Epistolary?
Yes, sir. The first was precipitated by Britain's annexation of the Transvaal province. The second, or South African. Colin.
Boer War.
Yes. The language RPG is one of the few programming languages originally created for them that is still in use today. What is this fairly outdated cardboard recording medium, a version of which was patented by Herman Hollerith? Well, you've all finally forgotten these existed. The punch card. On the Cartesian plane, in which quadrants will the tangent function yield a negative result? Taylor.
The second and the fourth.
That is right. Areas in this park include Madison, Canyon, Spencer.
Central Park.
Nope. Areas in this park include Madison, Canyon, and Tower Roosevelt. At what park within Montana, Wyoming, and Idaho can one visit Old Faithful?
Yellowstone National.
That is right. It's famous for its surreal bourgeois cartoons with non sequitur punchlines, as well as its talk of the town pieces. What is this weekly literary magazine whose inaugural issue depicted a man with a top hat and monocle on its cover? Julia.
The New Yorker?
Correct. York, Wiltshire, Virginia, Serrano, and prosciutto are all varieties of what pork? Richard.
What is ham?
Yes. Its symbol comes from the Latin word natrium. What is this alkali metal found? Taylor.
Sodium?
Correct. In addition to navigating the Zambezi and finding Victoria Falls, what's... Yes, Colin.
Livingston.
Correct. The post-1973 name of this country was taken from its coastal capital city. However, a hurricane caused government officials to move the capital inland to Belmopan. Yes, Colin.
Belize.
Correct. First called a monster curve, what term was coined by mathematician Benoit Mandelbrot to identify a geometric object that is said to possess infinite detail? Yes, Taylor.
A fractal?
Right. The Greek sculptor Myron, according to Pliny, was most famous for a cow, Latus the runner, and what other famous bronze sculpture depicting a male about to engage? Taylor.
The Scobulus?
Yes, that's right. It was proven a forgery because it used 8th century colloquialisms that were not possible for a document supposedly written in the 4th century. What is this fraudulent imperial edict that supposedly gave the papacy authority over Rome and Italy? Yes, Colin.
Unum Sanctum.
No, you can steal.
Nice.
The donation of Constantine. That's the end of the game. Let's look at the score. 320 here, 350 Crystal Springs in the Final Four. We'll see you next week.
Underwriters help to make this program possible. SBC, the San Mateo Credit Union, Wells Fargo, and Oracle. Tournament champions will win an all-expenses-paid trip to Europe, courtesy of ACIS. Additional support provided by these Bay Area newspapers and the Burlingame Scottish Rite of Freemasonry.